against God. He cannot give you a perfect perception of reality. Therefore, you make mistakes. Serious errors. You are not mistake today. You just one big error. And sometimes an error creates such a problem you can't fix it. You just have to erase it. So God has come with the angels and a big eraser to erase the board of the problem and begin again. And that's why Jesus is called the second Adam, because God is going to wipe it all out and begin again. And it depends on how we act, whether we are a part of the beginning or a part of the end. For all in Adam died. In the Quran, it asks the question, how long did they remain or tarry in the caves? For they did not know. And because they did not know how long they were in the cave, they said Allah knew. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, an unlearned man from among the despised and rejected and unlettered and unlearned black people of America, stood up and said, you remained in the caves 2,000 years. That was a punishment put on the Caucasian people from God for troublemaking among the righteous. They were deprived of right guidance. They were deprived of everything except the language, and then they lost the language of the holy people. I can understand why the Jews want to get back to Palestine. They are like the moon that got split off from this part and lost her water to this part and is always trying to get back what she lost. So the Jews are always trying to go back to where they came from. So Jesus, in meeting with Nicodemus at night, told Nicodemus, you cannot see the kingdom of heaven unless you are born again. How can I, a full-grown man, enter back into my mother's womb for the second time? Jesus gave him a real shady kind of answer. So he would hear and not even understand what the wind bloweth from where it listeth not. So Nicodemus went away at night just as dumb as when he came. Entering back into your mother's womb means returning to the source of your origin, which is God, and being made over again. You cannot, black people, see the new world as you are. You have been made by the old world, shaped in sin and iniquity. You cannot be a part of that which God makes new unless you are willing to undergo a process which is called being rebirthed. And it is a painful process because you're grown now and hardened in the way of evil. And this is why Jesus said, except you become as a little child, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven, because you now need to be taught all over again. Because all that you have taught is unfit for the kingdom. Yep. So this Caucasian that is now going into outer space, discovering the depths of the ocean, looking into the life germ and discovering its secrets and trying to alter the characteristics in the nature of human beings. This same man just a few thousand years ago was on his all fours in the hills and cave sides of Europe, So teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Holy Quran bears him witness. He was in the caves, didn't know how to bury his dead, didn't know how to cook food. This is the truth. In a movie that they made called Quest for Fire, they began to tell something of their origin. But if you don't know the truth, you will see it and miss it. He was telling you he had no language. He was grunting. That's where Tarzan came from. Yeah, it's true. The Caucasian was in that shape. Some of them grew little tails. This is true. And some of them today are born with little tails. I'm not telling a tale. I'm just telling the truth. This is not wisdom given to us that we make mockery of a people who are sitting on top of the world. But it is given to you because you now are in a similar condition that they were in 4,000 years ago, only you're not in a physical cave, you're in a spiritual cave, and some of your homes look just like a cave. You hear me, black brothers and sisters? So this is not given to give you something to make mockery of other people, but it is given to give you hope that if the white man could be in that condition and become the ruler of the entire planet, then there's hope for you if God said he will take the despised and the rejected and the bottom rail and bring it to the top. Then don't doubt that he can do it. If he did it for those yesterday, he can do it for you today. Yes. Dear beloved brothers and sisters, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that God commissioned Musa or Moses to go into the hills and cave sides of Europe to civilize the cave dwellers and get them on the road to conquest. This is why Moses is their great, great prophet. They love Moses, but not enough to follow him. They followed Moses just to get out of the condition of the caves. But after they were out, they went right on back to their evil doing, because that was more compatible to their nature than the righteousness of the law that he had given them. Brothers and sisters, this is just plain truth. Again, the Quran is a witness. He finally, in the caves, made friends with the dog. And that is why today he tells you that the dog is man's best friend. How could a dog be my best friend and it barks and I talk? When I'm sad, the dog don't understand my pain. Only another human can understand my pain and comfort me. How could a dog be my best friend? Unless I were a dog. Then as a dog, my best friend would be like myself, another dog. I wonder, is that what they're saying? If that's what you're saying, maybe that is right. That is correct. Because Moses tried to straighten the Caucasian up from walking on his all fours. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us that Moses had to put a board in his back, and he made a corset for him. That's where you got it from, sisters. Because he was fat and sloppy and out of shape, particularly around in here, because he was walking on his all fours. Developed longer torso, longer arms, shorter legs, hair all over his body, like the lower animals. This comes from living in caves.